Today's video, coming to you from Vote for Land Homestead, is your generator. If you want some semblance of power to your RV on your no utility having homestead, you need a generator. What kind of generator do you choose? Well, that has a lot of factors involved. What kind of RV do you have? Do you have a 50 amp plug like ours, or do you have a 30 amp plug? If you have a 50 amp, you want to take full use of the power of your RV, you definitely need a 50 amp outlet, which on our generator is the AC240. This is for a 30 amp, so they are different, so you need to know that. You want to know how many watts in your generator. We got the 12,000 watt because our RV actually has 2 AC units up there, an electric fireplace, all kinds of 120 volt outlets, etc. So there is a lot on our RV that we can use without using our generator. So you can tell right now it's not on. We actually just did an oil change on it. We're maintaining it. That's a whole nother video, but we do have, if you can see there, we do have one solar panel that feeds our 12 volt battery on a cloudy day like today, though. Not getting much solar energy. So that being said, we did have the generator on earlier to charge up the 12 volt battery, which that does happen every time you plug into what's called shore power. For us, it's generator power. So what kind of generator do you choose? I mean, it depends. Like I said, do you have a 50 amp RV? Do you have a 30 amp RV? Are you going to use your heat all the time? Are you going to use your ACs all the time? Are you going to use your electric fireplace? Are you going to use all your lights? What kind of lights do you have? Are you going to use a microwave, hair dryer? I mean, there's just so many things that go into the choice. So I'll just tell you why we chose ours. We chose the generator Pulsar 12,000 watt G12KBN because of the high wattage that it outputs. It is a gas powered or a propane powered, as you can see right there. You do have to run it all the way out of gas before you can switch to propane, though. We have found, after using this several times, that gas gets us about 12 hours for every 8 gallons of gas. So we do use gas more often than propane. You do have to maintenance these things. We use ours on average anywhere from 60 to 100 hours a week, depending on weather and how much we're working, etc. So we have to change our oil about once a week. And so we do have costs like oil. We did have to buy that to put the overflow oil in so that we can go dump that at a proper facility when it's full. We've already changed our spark plug on this once, and we've already changed our air filter on this once. It calls for more than that, but I mean, I'm not trying to fix what ain't broken, you know what I'm saying? So we're at about 1,000 hours since last October. Today is February the 8th, and we just do those things once, but we have actually changed our oil almost every week for the 13 weeks or whatever it is that we've been out here. So if you're looking to power your RV while you're off grid, you don't have any connection to your power grid. Ours would be Duke Power here where we're at. You're definitely going to need some kind of power source, whether it be all solar or all gas generator, or so ours is a mix between a little bit of both. Our heat is propane and our stove is propane. So that's located on the front of our RV. We got two 20-gallon propane tanks. They're underneath that black thing right there. And so that does power our heat when needed, and that does power our stove. So and some of our lights work. None of the outlets work, and our electric fireplace does not work, and that which does put off heat. We mostly use our generator in the evenings when we're trying to relax and watch TV, let the boy play some Xbox or whatever. So we really try to run the generator the least amount possible, because we found that $15 to $20 a day in gas adds up very quickly. They say it's cheap to move off the grid and live off the land, but I call bullshit. This is expensive when you still have the same amount of debt I mean, we dropped everything. We sold as much as we could. We got out of our townhome. We bought some land. We bought an RV. And, I mean, we were paying like $150 average of a power bill every month. And you do the math, $15 a day on a generator if you're not using it sparingly. Yeah, that's more. So, until we can actually get on a huge solar array, you know, that's probably going to be about the average cost. Now, this past week has been pretty warm, so we haven't needed to use our propane except for cooking, and our battery stayed pretty charged with the sun. Today's the cloudiest day we've had, so we really haven't had to use the generator a lot either. And I say we haven't had to use the heat. Overnight, the battery does start to die, so you need some power to run the furnace, which is located over, there's our water heater, but our furnace is there. So you do need some power to run the furnace so that the propane can light the pilot light and move the air through the RV. So in the middle of the night when it was getting really cold, we had to run the generator a lot. And also running the heat all night long kept our water lines from freezing, at least somewhat. We did have some issues, but that's a whole nother video too. There's Adam, the landman. He's finishing up our oil change. We had about 95 hours on the generator before we changed the oil, and that's about typical for us. This time we were able to go almost 2 weeks because the weather's been nice, and we haven't had to run the generator at all at night, and our battery's been relatively full when we wake up in the morning because we're not running the heat. And so we haven't had to run the generator most of the day either. So anyway, back to the generator. You're going to need power. I don't care what anybody tells you. You can't live without some sort of power. At least I can't. I don't think anybody can. So eventually one day we'll have a large solar array out here for possibly the house. But until then, we are thinking we're going to get the Anchor, A-N-K-O-R solar generator. That goal is hopefully by summer we'll have that out here, and it will be powered by solar, and you can recharge it by plugging it into the RV while the generator is running. We have to figure all that out, so stay tuned for that. And if you have any questions, comment below, and we will see you in the next one.